Hi everyone, this is AV here, and I've just switched over to PC, and I'm about to start playing Fallout 4 on PC. But before I get into all my playthroughs, I wanted to go through all of the mods I have and will be using and why I'm using them. The first main one is the unofficial patch. I know there's been some drama about it recently online, but the reality is that any mod that affects NPC records is going to cause some stutter in your game, potentially crashes here and there. So, that's something that you have to decide if you're okay with that. And also just going forward before you get further in, this is my load order, this is what I prefer, this is what I like. And a lot of these things I did take I'm okay with accepting the potential issues. So take my load order with a grain of salt. This is just what I like, and I am okay with the risks that I'm taking by having certain mods, and we'll get to those in a minute. But yeah, so unofficial patch, I do have that enabled. I have ran with it. I haven't had any issues. It does affect a lot of NPC records. That is an issue with Bethesda, and Bethesda is supposed to fix that sometime soon, but we know how Bethesda is, so it might not be right away. But anyways, I want to have it because if it does get, um, whenever Bethesda does release a patch for the game to fix the issue with the NPC record thing, I want to be able to still update my game and update the patch in my mods without worrying about it too much. Um, Now the next mod I have here is America Rising 2. It's an amazing mod, and I guess I can show you these as I'm running through them. So this is America Rising. It's an amazing mod by Adelino. I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is it just adds the Enclave as an additional faction to the game, so you can still, and it's integrated into the game, so you can still run through all of the same like gameplay that you normally would have story-wise, but this is integrated in, so you can choose, Railroad, Brotherhood of Steel, the other one I don't want to spoil, or Enclave, which is pretty cool. And I feel like it starts off in a pretty immersive way. So as a player, it makes sense to get wrapped up into it if you choose to. Now, let me just bounce out of that. Okay, now, so I have that mod, and then I have the patches for it for the CC content that I do have. Now, this is a mod that just is, I guess, a slight spoiler here. There's a point in the Nuka World story where you can um, go and raid other settlements as a bad guy, basically, turn them into raiders instead of settlers. This lets me still complete Nuka World without doing that, which is something I don't personally agree with for most of my playthroughs. Then I have a couple mods here, Creation Club Delayed and Start Creation Club When You Want by SKK. I would probably only have Creation Club Delayed, but it hasn't been updated to include the new CC content. But all this does is it makes it so when you first leave Vault 111 or start your game, you are not immediately bombarded with all these quests initiated from all the CC content you have. It just pushes them. Delayed is a little better in that it allows you to immersively trigger them, whereas this one, I'm pretty sure, just makes it you turn it on when you want to, which is fine in the meantime, but eventually, I would probably prefer just the delayed one, but this is better than having them start automatically. And then I have some CC enhanced patches, and these are just some patches that they they just fix some issues with the content. Um, like, let me try to remember why I have this. I think it just allows me to customize the vault suit and like the graphic t-shirt pack. I could put armor pieces on it and stuff like that, which is important for the way I like to play. I have achievements, mod enablers, so I can still play my game and still get achievements through Steam. I have cheat terminal. This is, I feel like, a standard, like you need to have this. Um, just for the different playthroughs I might want or creating. Sometimes I just want a settlement build and not worry about resources. Or if I start a new game and I want to test out some mods, I can use this to quickly fast travel to locations. I do know that on PC now I could do a lot of that with console commands, but I do feel like using the Pip-Boy is a lot easier. Um, it's just easier to navigate and stuff for certain things. I have a couple SKK mods here, like Workshop Ownership Utilities and Settlement Attack System. I really tried hard to find a mod that allows me to decrease the settlement attacks. I I like the settlement attack system. I just wish it was improved. Oh, and I guess a big thing about this load order that I didn't mention is that I I wanted a load order that doesn't require third-party stuff. I don't want anything that requires Fallout 4 script extender. I don't want anything that requires any third-party anything. My main reason for that is I don't just play Fallout 4. I play lots of games. I jump around between them. I may not return to Fallout 4 for like I might play it for a few months and then I might not come back for a year. So I want a load order that is relatively stable. Obviously, whenever there's a patch, anything could break, but for the most part, I feel like this stuff is okay, and I shouldn't have to stress about it too much. Obviously, you should always be careful and check on your own to make sure all your mods are still um, they'll still work with the new update. Anyways, so in my research to find a good mod that decreases the settlement attacks, I didn't want to disable them, and I wanted something that felt like it's stable and I can rely on it even if there's future updates. And this is the closest thing I could come to. This settlement attack system, it could be used to like really advance the settlement system, but I don't want to do that. What I mostly care about is, I don't know if it shows it here. Here it is. There's this one feature that you can change the interval, and I can set that to once every 8 hours. You can change with this the strength and stuff too. You can even just completely disable it, which I do think I might have done already. Might have disabled it. I personally feel like I don't really want to get into settlement attacks until like maybe mid game. Like initially, I don't want to deal with them, and then after mid game, you probably have a handful of settlements by that point. I think I'm still going to want the interval to be like 8. So those are the only features I care about with it, but that's why I have it. Move workshop markers. This is something that just lets me, I haven't tested this one out on my own yet. I just trust the mod author and I felt like it's okay. So another thing to take with a grain of salt, but this one allows you to move the workshop markers for where the enemies spawn in when you're having a settlement attack. One of the main issues with settlement attacks that I think a lot of people encountered when they first started playing Fallout 4 is that the enemies will just spawn in just kind of in the middle of your settlement sometimes. And often there's like an issue with the game where for some reason the attackers are linked to a fast travel mat or the spot that you would spawn in if you fast travel to a location. So this is supposed to alleviate that. I can move these markers around, and a bonus to this is I can also move the marker for like the caravan. So if you want to have a spot where your caravan people go to for trading, you can do that. And then I have here, I didn't explain it, but this one is Workshop Ownership Utilities. This one has a lot more features than I personally care about for the way I play, but the main ones I liked were the ability to view where certain like provisions are, synths, unsheltered, unowned beds, like a lot of troubleshooting stuff that might be good to have. So I took it on. I think it's a good mod to have for that. Standalone workbenches. This is just. Oops, I apologize. Hello. I apologize for that. I'm still kind of learning the PC OBS thing. I'm using my Xbox headset, and it's a piece of shit, to be honest. Like, it's great for Xbox, but for PC, your phone, anything, it sucks big dicks. So I need to get a new headset for PC streaming. That's clear now. I'm glad it happened during this. But anyways, I'll keep going. I'm sorry if it turns off again. I'll turn it back on. My apologies for that. I'm just making sure that it's still working. It looks like it is. Awesome. Okay. Now, standalone workbenches, that's something I actually only downloaded to use for, I think it was ECO. So ECO, so when I moved to PC, there's a few things I wanted to update. There's some mods I used on Xbox that I loved and I swore by, but on PC, I think there are some uh, easier or what can I say, more performance-friendly mods. And one of the big mods I used on Xbox was UCO, unlocked customization overhaul or something like that. And it allows you to like put armor pieces on like any clothing and all sorts of stuff. There are some features I miss from it, but it's possible I just don't know about it. But ECO is like a more performance-friendly version of that for PC. So I'm using that. I think it might be on Xbox too, but I don't use it on there. This is updated. It comes with some other really cool features like, I guess, I'm sorry, I'll open it up for you. Um, so it has some really cool updated features, basically like what UCO does, minus the paints. That's the main thing I noticed right out of the gate is I don't have all the fun paint options for all the clothing like I did on UCO. It's possible I don't know how to do that yet. So that's something I might have to continue looking into. Um, and sorry, I'm just making sure that you can hear me on the mic and not. Yeah, okay, good. um, it comes with some complementary, like some mods that go well with it. Legendary effect and new equipment. So legendary effect adds some like cool legendary effects, lets you move around stuff, has a really awesome feature that lets you break down legendary effects and you get like a material from it called like a microchip or something like that. And you can use that to build other legendary effects, which I think is a fun feature that makes those legendary items you find in the game still have value. If it's not a legendary you want to use, you could at least break it down and maybe build a legendary you do like on something, and that's kind of cool. And is customizable, so you can cheat if you want to, or all sorts of other stuff. New equipment overhaul. I think this just adds the ability to make things invisible, headlamps, armor layering. This might be more like the UCO bit. So I have that too. It goes with it. And also armor paint is just something that adds like some armor paints on some things. It's not quite UCO level, but I think it's still worth it. Now this is a total like just for fun mod that I wanted. I feel like it's probably not the smartest mod to have because I imagine this is goes crazy on my level list, but this is just some hats and stuff for dog meat. It's kind of fun. It also adds it to the level list, so while that part scares me because being on the Xbox, you really want to minimize your level list editing. Uh, but on PC, I feel a little less stressed about it. But my favorite part is that I already have encountered some dogs that have some of these pieces on them. I saw somebody wearing this helmet over here, and it was just amazing. I love it. Um, Tactical flashlights. So I chose this mod because I really prefer like a Pip-Boy flashlight, and I know a lot of people swear by it, but in my experience, I'm sorry, I'm still checking to make sure you can still hear me. But in my experience, the flashlights can be kind of buggy, and that could totally be my problem. It could be mod conflicts, I could need patches, it could just be me being a dum-dum. But so what I wanted to do instead was, but I am also, like I love Fallout 3, so I want to have some nostalgia. So I want to still be able to use the Pip-Boy, the default light. So what I did was I got tactical flashlights. So if I want to have a flashlight that's centered in front of me, I just equip the head gear item. If I want to have the default flashlight on the Pip-Boy, I just unequip the head gear item and I can have both. To me, this is the best in both worlds, or the best of both worlds. Um, and then distributed DLC level lists. I just like this a lot. It's by the same person that made America Rising. It distributes my Creation Club content and my. Let me see if I can just do this to like if this will hopefully keep my headset going. And actually, let me look at my stream and make sure that I can still hear me. Um, okay, good. Anyways, so yeah, so this just distributes all your DLC content and Creation Club content in the level list, and it does work, and I do like it a lot. Although I wouldn't mind some more graphic T Creation Club content in the level list, but it's possible I have something fucked up or whatever in my list. I don't know. M79 grenade launcher. So this was part of a grenade expansion pack mod a long time ago by Sean S. And I loved it when I first started playing on Xbox with mods. It was one of my first favorite mods I used. I actually helped test this on Xbox for the mod author. Um, I loved it. It was a lot of fun. But I have a lot of other level list editing stuff, so I don't really want that. But the grenade launcher finding this thing is still like this core memory for me in Fallout 4 modding. So I want to still have it in my game. I like it. It also serves a very unique purpose. It's a grenade launcher that allows you to access your grenade inventory. You can put any grenade you have in it. It's pretty awesome, and I enjoy using it. And Wasteland imports, this is just something I feel like a lot of people like to have. It just adds in some content from Fallout New Vegas into the game, and I think it just adds some variety. And for someone who's played vanilla a lot, this is just a little nice extra fun stuff. Settlement menu manager is needed for some other mods I have. Now, when it comes to settlement building stuff, I really tried to research the best I could. I think I would prefer something like USO that's more updated and performance friendly on PC, but I really couldn't find anything. I found some similar things like Homemaker and a few others, but in my research, like on Reddit and everything, I couldn't find anything that was like relatively current. And so I'm still using USO. And I still like USO. I used it forever on Xbox. I just feel like there's some items I either can't find or it's missing, and I don't know if that's my problem. I'm sure it is, but for now, that's the best I have. It seems like it's also the most performance friendly one that I can figure out. Weapon rack extended. I got this because I have mods that add more magazines, and this is just an example. You can fit more in one, so I don't need to have like 4 or 5 weapon racks. I could just have a few. Sorry, I'm trying to go relatively quickly because I got a lot of mods here that I'm going to be using in my playthrough, and I'm also just checking to make sure that you can still hear me. Um, where did I put that? Oh yeah, this is a mod that just adds some notes. Now, I thought it was a really good idea, but in practice in the game, I ended up not really using it. But it's a really cool idea. My problem was actually exactly this here. I couldn't get them to stick on all the lockers. There's some weird collision on some of the lockers that I couldn't get them to stick on or place properly. And the thing is, here's the problem with settlement stuff is I used Place Anywhere for years on Xbox. That's what I want. I want that. I don't want Place Everywhere that's on PC. And I also don't want anything that requires Fallout 4 script extender. So the closest thing I could get to Place Anywhere was something called Whisper's Workshop that's only available through the mod menu on PC. I tried it. It's okay. It seems to have some features that mimic Place Anywhere, but I didn't like it. I'm sorry, Mr. Whisper. I don't know who you are, but like, I wasn't a big fan of it. It just didn't. It's just not as smooth and friendly, user friendly as Place Anywhere was. So I don't have any mods that allow me to place in red or resize or anything like that. Luckily, USO has a section at the end of their item list, and I don't think they have an image of it, but yeah, they don't. There's a glitch section. It has columns, it has invisible mats that you can use to easily use the rug glitch or the column glitch to place it. And honestly, I've been having no problem doing that. And I've totally readapted to a few things, and it's no problem. That combined with OC Decorator, I've pretty much been able to replace the things that I used to use Place Anywhere for. Back to the list, super helpful tidying. I actually do use this one. This one ended up being the main thing I used in my game. It's pretty convenient. All it does is it has a handful of categories like, I think you can see them all here. There'll be a new menu called shit. It's super helpful item tidying, and there's submenus for lockers, material, crate, these, the other things here, and each one has different variants that are labeled differently, like armor, like this one. See this chest is called guns, and there like this one is showing raw materials for that one. I found that to be the most useful. I did that, and I'll show you when I get into. I'll run through what I did for my red rocket, like a little overview. I'll show you that to just to test it out. But I felt like this was the most beneficial one that I got, I think, for that. Workshop connected containers. I honestly have not really used this. I might not really need it. I think this one just adds containers that connect to the workshop, and I think I might have misunderstood what it did. I thought it was like a cloud storage, but this is okay. I just don't think it's really necessary. Generally, I can run to my workshop whenever I want. But maybe I might be misremembering why I did this. Maybe this just connect to the workshop inventory. Yeah, so it's okay. This is like something that you want to have if you have a large settlement and you don't want to have to run back to the workshop bench every time. But anyways, OC Decorator I already kind of talked about. This lets me do some things that Place Anywhere used to let me do. Instead of manually making things static, this just creates static items. Or if you have it in your inventory or workshop inventory, you can just place the static item. I'm making sure that you can still hear me. And if I have any audio issues with this stream, I'll just delete it. But anyways, this is pretty cool, and I really like it. I feel like the menu is a little. Playing this, I wish, and I don't even know if it's possible, but I wish there was a little sub menu that was just like currently in inventory, so I could just scroll through the junk items that I have. It's kind of hard to remember what I have in my inventory and then to remember to navigate to those things. But other than that, I've been able to find everything that I wanted through there, and it was pretty helpful. Looks mirror is still something I enjoy. It's super simple. It still works. It's just a mirror you can place that has an option to go into the looks menu. I could do that through cheat terminal. You could do that through console. I don't like using console. I know it's stubborn. That's just the way I am. So I like this. It's a little more immersive. Salvage beacons. I have not used this yet, but I know I will be. It's a pretty cool idea. Lets you place stuff. You put a salvage beacon on in something. You put your scrap in there, and some settler that you've assigned will be there to pick it up. I really like that mod. Mobile Workshop is basically this is basically on Xbox. I used a mod by Andrew CX called Workshop Anywhere. This is kind of the same idea. It does the same thing, although I'm not sure. The only thing with this is that I don't think you can have multiple. That might be a problem. So that, looking at this now, I might oh, as many times as you like. See, I don't know if this lets you have multiple settlements. So in that way, Andrew's CX's workshop anywhere might be better. but I'm already in my playthrough and I'm not going back. Campsite is it's just a more. I think I would have been using Andrew CX's campsite, but I can't remember if I either couldn't find it on the PC mod menu because it's not a Nexus, or if I just chose this because it's a little more stuff that I couldn't really have on Xbox, but it's pretty cool. That's what I needed to do. Not just basements. This mod is, oh man, this might be my favorite mod that I have. I have it on Xbox too. It's so cool and it's so good and I love it so much. I haven't thoroughly tested it like, 80 hours in on a playthrough, but through my initial playing with it, it's amazing and I love it. And I'm checking to make sure my stream is still streaming. Okay. What this lets you do, let's see if there's a picture of it here. I can't, I guess it doesn't show me. Huh. Well, there's no image here that shows. Let me look at all the images and see if I can find it for you. Um, no, there's no image that shows you like, okay, there it is. There's one. So it lets you place down these doors like that right there. You can place it anywhere you want at a settlement, only one each. And what it does is each one is connected to a unique cell. But at the same time, they're still connected to the same workshop inventory of the settlement you placed it at. So my my red rocket right now, which I'll do in my next video overview, I have two of these doors. So I basically have my red rocket is set up for like, I think I just store some basic stuff there, but I have one of these doors that takes me to, actually it's this interior, and that's where I have like my bed, my clothes, my collection items that I'm collecting, and then I don't know if they have the other one in here, but there's a military one that I have. It might be this one. No, it's not this one, but then I have another one that is a larger one that has stairs going down into it, and that one is where I'm storing all my power armor, my weapons, and my armor. It's awesome for a collector, I think, like me, but it could be used for if I was using Workshop Anywhere or something where you can make a settlement anywhere. You could make a settlement anywhere instead of having to build crap around on the outside. I could just drop one of these down, assuming it would still populate in the same menu. But, oh, there it is. This is the one I'm using for my power armors. I deleted some stuff and I have like displays all around and it's pretty cool. Um, yeah, I just want to make sure you can still hear me. Good. Um, Now, next, Fallout Suite. This is just it adds music to the soundtrack. Exploration music, dungeon music, all sorts of stuff, battle music. It's awesome. I love it. I've used it for years. I do feel like some tracks are a little louder than they should be, but I've used it for so long. I can't imagine playing Fallout without it. I love it. And it still allows me to continue to hear the original soundtrack too. I have Old World Tunes, which is the only radio mod I want or like. It has the storyteller from the Shoddycast Fallout YouTube series, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it because I feel like it's pretty immersive. There's a couple times where he does mission like the Lone Wanderer or like the Soul Survivor U, which is hard if you're not. But I mean, I guess you could headcanon he's not talking about you. But where am I? So it has lots of good songs, and I like that it adds little lore bits of the world here and there, and it has some commercials, which is pretty cool. This one is a silent radio. So if you ever are playing with music on Spotify or something, and so you don't want to hear the game music, this lets you you can switch to this radio station, and by switching to this radio station, it's silent, so you're not going to hear any game like soundtrack music. So you can listen to your own stuff if you want to, or just turn off all music altogether if you just want something more immersive. You could do that in the settings in the menu, I know, but lowered weapons. This is a mod that just lets you hold X, like normally when you have a gun out, you hold X, your character sheathes it. With this mod, you hold X, your character lowers their gun, you hold X again, and then they sheath it. And I think it's pretty cool. Vivid Fallout. This mod is amazing. It makes the whole game look so beautiful. It's so amazing. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just, you have to experience it. I didn't think I would need it. Then I had it. This to me is basically Skyland for Fallout. If you've played Skyrim and you've played Skyland, you know what I'm talking about. It also, there's some pre-built LOD, so you don't have to do it yourself. And as long as your load order is relatively vanilla as far as map additions, you can use the LOD and it won't mess anything up. Then I have Fungal Forest, which comes with its own LOD. Um, just to the, I can't remember the word. I'm sorry. Uh, what is it called? I can't remember. And also, I just remembered I do need to check my stream chat to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Good. No one's chatted like normal. Okay. I can't remember what it's called, but you know that whole nuclear area like south. This adds some mushrooms to it, and I love it because I don't know. I play a lot of Elder Scrolls, so it gives me a little bit of that, and I think it adds some nice, unique variety to that area. Makes it very special. It comes with LOD for it, and then I have Boston Natural Surroundings. This is a tree mod that also comes with its own LOD. Now I'm using 2.4, which I don't think there's any screenshots of that here. I'm using 2.4 because let's see if anyone else has it in here. Or somebody has it. This looks like it. This is 2.4. It makes it have pine trees. The grass is green, but not completely green. It has like kind of a brownish hue to it. So I think it gives a nice middle ground between a little bit more life in the world, but not too green to where to me it just completely contrasts the vibe that I think the developers were trying to do. So the only problem with this is if you've played the intro, the pre-war time, they're not really pine trees then. So my headcanon is there were pine trees, the bombs fell, all trees got wiped in the area, but the pine trees for whatever reason flourished, and 200 years later now there's pine trees everywhere. And I think that adds to like a fun thing to when you exit Vault 111, you look out as your character and you're like, holy shit, everything really is changed. Like there's fucking pine trees everywhere now too. But it comes with LOD. It looks really good in the game. Combined with Vivid Fallout, I think it just is such a wonderful combo. Now this is a mod I use on Xbox too. Checking to make sure you can still hear me. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Good. So this is a mod I use on Xbox. I have a problem with the combat shotgun and the combat rifle in the game. They look very similar, and sometimes I would get confused and mixed up. This mod makes the back of the combat rifle have a slightly different. Already forgot what this is called, but it just makes it a little easier for me to determine. Oh, that's the combat rifle. Replace Pack Brahmin with iBots. This for me is because when you have a lot of provisioners running around, those Brahmin seem to always get stuck on stuff, and I have less issue with the iBots pathing, so that's my preference. I have the one that doesn't edit the caravans, that only edits your provisioners. There is a version of this that works with um, the iBot mod that I have later down here, but I chose to keep it with this one to keep it simple. Moddable Robot Settlers. This is a mod that allows you to modify, what is that? Oh, I don't know what that is, but this is just a mod that lets you do like keep those unique robots that you would come across at some settlements. Now in the vanilla game, like Mr. Goodfield's at Sunshine Tidings, if that's his name, I can't remember. You go there, you clear out the raiders, you go do some stuff, you come back. Mr. Goodfield is gone now. This mod prevents them from disappearing like that, and it lets you modify them like you would any other robot with Automatron. Beastmaster. This mod lets you basically those cages that you would get in, I think it was the Contraptions DLC, it allows you to use those cages for more than just having additional animals on your settlement, or making little fight rings, whatever. You can keep them. You can make them a companion. You can give them a name. You can put little just some bags you can make them wear and stuff. I think it's pretty cool. It adds a little purpose for someone like me to build the cages, to have some more companions. You could do some immersive stuff, like you could have a pack Brahmin if you want for different playthroughs or whatever. I think it's great. Now, some of these mods I'm using are older mods, and it's kind of like use at your own risk. This mod was last updated in 2017. There could be things that are broken with it, but I don't really know. And there's certain, like I said earlier, there's certain mods I'm willing to take the risk on because I really enjoyed playing with them when I was on Xbox. And I'm sure if you're more tech savvy, you can find a way to make sure it still works or whatever. But for me, I'm just trusting it. This one, I think everybody would agree is one of the most important mods if you like dog meat. It just lets you continue to have them with you, even if you have another companion. This mod right here is so awesome. This mod just gives you some costumes basically that you can make dog meat wear or equip that make him look different. So some of them are really cool. Um, like uh, like they're all really good actually. I love them all. Basically the same as the transmogrifier, whatever it's called from the Creation Club. But my favorite one of all of these is Rex. Like that one is just so cool. I love it. I love it so much. I'm using that one right now in my game. Wild Wasteland. This was one that I feel like, good luck. I hope that this still works. This was last updated in 2018, but it's a mod that I have so many fun memories of that I really wanted to keep it in my game. So I felt I'm down to take the risk. And so far, it feels fine. It's just a mod that adds like Wild Westland type stuff that you can come across like this. You would know immediately if you've played Fallout New Vegas. It's kind of, yeah. So I really like it. There's one particular thing in here. I don't know if it's in here, but it adds like that Black Hawk revolver pistol thing with a giant scope on it. A lot of fun stuff. Now, Mutant Menagerie. This is a mod that currently right now in Fallout, it's probably not the smartest mod to use because remember, any mod that edits NPCs is going to cause some stutter. This adds a lot of NPCs, a lot of creatures all over, but it really does so much more than that. So it sprinkles all of these new creatures like that, like ducks near water. So cool. There will be, you can see fish swimming in the water, which is totally new. That was never there before. And it also adds little guides that you can find around that kind of talk about like a bestiary about each thing, which reminds me of like the Wasteland Survival Guide. And there's recipes for them. It doesn't just do that. It also adds plant. Look, here's like an example of, I guess, all the different fish. It also adds unique plants that you can collect that I think are more fun. So for me, this is like a vanilla plus type of treat. It's doesn't change a whole lot of stuff in the base game, but it adds little new things around. So when I'm going from point A to point B, for the 100th time, in my total time ever playing Fallout 4, I'm going to encounter a few new things. And I think it really adds some fun, new excitement to the game. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This adds iBots to Automatron, and you can make iBots now. And the reviews are all pretty good. I haven't experienced it for myself, so take it with a grain of salt, but it seems like there's not too many bugs. Of course, you see some here. The few bugs I did see seem like just vanilla Automatron bugs, which is like if you've played vanilla, like on Xbox or wherever, there's some points where like there'd be like weird moments where you will fast travel somewhere and the Automatron thing you made is now defaulted to like a Protectron skeleton. And I don't really know why that is, but I know that's just like a vanilla thing. Now for Fallout, there's not that many um, customization mods. I mean, there probably are, but I don't do any of that other wild shit that you see on Nexus. I just want some stuff that gives me more options for custom creating. And these add just like 100 more. It just meshes together different hairstyles that are vanilla hairstyles to make more variety. So I have one for female, male, and then I have one for beards, which is so fucking important for me because I have a beard in real life and I like to make my characters kind of look like me. So yeah, some good options there. This makes the beards look a little better. And this mod right here, I feel like this reminds me of a mod for Skyrim called Salt and Wind. Like the type of texture it adds to the hair. And it's just my favorite. I'm checking in to make sure you can still hear me. I'm going to have to like USB connect my fucking headset next time, so it's not an issue. Um, Vivid Weathers, I do feel like this mod, I don't know if it's performance heavy or if it's just the current state of Fallout with the issue with NPC record edits stuttering, but I feel like this might be a little. I feel like my frame rate drops sometimes in certain ones, like super foggy weather, but it's so beautiful, man. I always used natural and atmospheric Commonwealth forever. It has a lot of wonderful features. Nights are dark, um, lights are better, sharper, more realistic. But I ended up realizing that I really don't play at night that much, as pretty as it looks. And I, although I love the filters it adds onto like characters, like your player characters just look better, and interiors look better, like in dungeons. But I felt like I was always just like waiting until morning or evening because that's when it was the prettiest, the golden hour. And here, it just looks amazing. The skybox looks so pretty. The sunrise is amazing. The sunset is amazing. And then there's one big thing that natural and atmospheric Commonwealth does that I really, really don't like, um, is that it changes the rad storms to be red instead of green. I want them green. And then the natural and atmospheric Commonwealth X that came out, I don't know, like a year or so ago, or maybe later or earlier, I don't remember. That one makes it even worse. It really changes the way the rad storms look. There's explosions, and it's just not what I'm looking for. I want kind of a vanilla plus. When it comes to my weather, I want vanilla plus plus. This, I feel like the storms look so pretty. It made the rad storms have snowflakes and stuff. Like, there's still rad storms that look like rain. It just, I don't know, man. This is what I was looking for. And it's my favorite one of all the weather mods that I have tried. I guess it's also because I play a lot of Elder Scrolls. When I come to Fallout, I want it to still have like a Fallout vibe, but I do want some slight more fantasy elements. I want an environment that like with the tree mod I'm using that has some more green to it, but still looks kind of dark and dead. And then I want my vivid weathers, my environment, the lighting to look a little more um, saturated, I think is the word I'm looking for. Cigarette in mouth is like totally not necessary, and I almost discourage just because I don't smoke in real life anymore, and so I'm kind of against encouraging people to do that. But I think it's really cool for certain things. Like I do feel like these guys would have these types of. I feel like Nick would totally smoke, and I definitely feel like he would have a pipe. But it adds a little roller that lets you add things, and that's kind of how my character looks in game. It's just because a long time ago when I first started playing Fallout, I liked him having a cigar in his mouth, and it was really cool, and it's just something I like to do. Half Gas Mask is one of my favorite gas mask mods. It just makes half variants of all the gas masks, so you can still have your goggles on, your glasses, your hat, whatever the fuck it is that you like to have with your gas mask. NCR outfit. For me, this is just like I like New Vegas, so this just adds a small little some NCR options if you want to roleplay or do something like that. I think it's just craftable and you can buy it from an NPC in Diamond City. This here, without any spoilers, this allows you to get some cybernetic implants through playing the story, which is fun for certain role plays. Now, this one, I don't know if this breaks any pre-combines, so use at your own risk. It hasn't been updated since 2017, but it adds a pretty big stairwell on two settlements that have overpasses. It's not necessary. You could get up there by other means, but there's really no easy way to get up there normally. And if you make it yourself, this does consume settlement budget. And this actually has pathing, so NPCs can go up and down it if you build stuff up here. I like it. It's just something I want to have. And then right down here we have the Vivid Fallout LOD. And then at the bottom we have Start Me Up. Now big, 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 big caution warning. The author themselves say not compatible with the next gen update. Wait for me to update it first. In their posts, they reiterate that again. It's not compatible. They'll update it later on. This was last mentioned on April 5th. In here, if you read more, they're basically recommending you to downgrade your game. If you read through here, some other people have mentioned stuff like, hey, it's kind of working for me. And they basically said, you don't know if it works or not. Be careful. Something could be broken with some main quests. I think they specified the reunions quest in the main story. So this is totally use at your own risk. I did see other comments saying that when they had this active, they weren't able to, like, their game kept crashing in after character creation. I saw some comments were saying when they were trying to exit Vault 111, their game would CTD. For me, I haven't had any problems. There's like a tiny bug I noticed one time where I like to have this. Number one, mod testing. You install some mods, you need to be able to jump into the world and test them before you play. So this lets me quickly go anywhere. You could use alternate start mods like SKKs, but I like how this one is integrated into the game. If I choose to play vanilla, this is basically alternate start from Skyrim, live another life from Skyrim. I could play the vanilla start if I choose to. I could play alternate starts, and it modifies the main story dialogue so it doesn't have references to your son or your wife. It's crucial for me. Now, when I was testing it, and I'm sorry, I'm just making sure that you can still hear me. When I was testing it, the only bug that I noticed was one of my alternate starts that I jumped to. Oh, let me open it up. One of my alternate starts that I jumped to, I think I chose like the Nuka Cola collector or whatever. There was like 4 or 5 fucking 10 millimeter pistols for some reason in my inventory. Other than that, I haven't had any issue. I I made a character. I've made different starts that I've tested out. I've I tested being able to go through Vault 111 and it worked for me. I um I mean I haven't had any issues with it. I I know the mod author is going to update it eventually, and I want it in my load order enabled. Like my preference is like this is my playthrough. I can't add mods once I start. I can't remove mods once I start. So the only thing I'm comfortable with doing is updating mods once I start, if the mod author says it's okay on their mod page. So for me, I know that unofficial patch and Start Me Up are going to have updates. And I know that Fallout 4 is going to have an update sometime in the near future to fix some of the NPC records bug. So for me, I want to have these mods active, enabled in my game. So when those mods are updated, when the game is updated, all I have to do is update these. I don't have to make a whole new save, hopefully, unless the mod authors say otherwise. That's my reasoning for that. Anyways, those are all of my mods um, set up, and that's it. That's all I have to talk about. Thank you so much for watching. I hope maybe this is informative to somebody. And feel free to ask questions if you have any questions. Again, I'm not like I wouldn't call myself like, or even consider myself somebody who like knows everything about mods. I really don't. I'm coming from Xbox. My only experience with mods is on Xbox and with modifying Skyrim on Xbox and PC. So a lot of these things, the mods that I'm using are mods I've used on Xbox or alternatives I found that are like the mods on Xbox. So I do feel like I have some experience, but definitely, you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I can't guarantee that all these mods are going to work together. Now, as I was playing my playthrough that I just started yesterday, um, I did, I, the only issues I'm experiencing are issues related to the NPC record edit bug that was introduced in Bethesda's most recent 2 updates. And basically, whenever you have an area that has a lot of NPCs, I will notice some stuttering. Occasionally, when I'm approaching it, this happened twice to me. Once when I was approaching Concord, and the game was initially loading those NPC raiders in Concord, my game crashed. And the second time was when I was leaving um, Museum of Freedom, exiting that final door to go to where the power armor suit is, my game crashed. And to me, it seems like it's related to the NPC bug. Like whenever there's an area that has a lot of NPCs and the game kind of can't handle it at that moment, it'll crash. Or you'll be lucky you just have some stutter. For me, it's not a big deal. I say regularly, these are risks I'm comfortable with taking. I would rather have the things that I want and have an occasional crash here and there. Those are my choices. If those line up with yours, awesome. If they don't, look elsewhere. But anyways, feel free to comment if you have any questions or whatever. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was informative or gave you some ideas. Please do your own research. Um, and anyways, I'll be uploading a video later on going through my Red Rocket and stuff that I've made. And later on this week, I do have a video for Kingoms of Amalur. I don't think I'll be doing a Fallout 4 playthrough video because it's a long game. But I will definitely be uploading like settlement videos. All right, well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I hope you have a good rest of your day and a good week. Bye now.